Normally, the Barossa Valley is a tranquil, picturesque place. But on the 14th, 15th and 16th of October, the valley is home to the National Hillclimb Championships. South Australia's Stan Keen, better known as the Fox, will defend his national title against a field of champions. Come along and enjoy a great family carnival at the Barossa Hillclimb Festival, 14th, 15th and 16th of October at Collingrove in the Barossa. The Barossa Hillclimb Festival, proudly sponsored by Channel 9.
It has all the ingredients that is so important about events for South Australia. That is, it brings people here for a few days, it enables the people to get out of Adelaide and come into the surrounding areas, and also great because it complements and puts a new focus on something else, which is Barossa, which is thought of as being just one thing, and now of course something like this has a great opportunity on top of that again.
Keep straight lines and go like hell, and that's all we can do at this stage. 1 second between 5 of us in that last run, so anything could happen.
It does that sort of thing which we try to do so often with events in South Australia and get people to stay longer in the state, have a look around, drive around, look at a few other things, spend a bit of money while you stay in accommodation up here and enjoy this beautiful surroundings at a great time of the year.
And if you get real serious, you can bring your own car and have a spin.
You could, why wouldn't you?
It's a very old form of motorsport, and there's no reason why it shouldn't grow. You can see from the way it's been running today that it's it's gaining in popularity. There's some very, very quick cars here, and cars that you use on the track you can use here. The Formula Brabhams, Formula 2s. So I think there's scope for it to improve, and it's comparatively cheap.
It was a very exciting thing. I had no comprehension of how quick you can go, but they tell me it was very slow, even though I thought it was pretty quick.
Well, it was a little bit quick, and of course you're an avowed football follower, aren't you? So this is an introduction to motorsport too for you, I suppose, is it?
Yes, it is, and it's fantastic to see the whole setup here. I didn't comprehend how many people were interested in it, and it's a great venue, and it's fantastic that Sporting Clark are doing such a good job.
that multiple entries, 3, 2, 1 around.
I asked about that, I've never actually seen it.
Down in the form up there, VA Commodore 81, it's crashed for the rest of the day. Okay, 81, thank you.
We get one with the two.
Change engine and all that.
Not there. It's there. That's aiding aerodynamics, so that's part of the measurement. It's irrelevant.
Up to 2,000 cc's, and the numbers in program order are 34, 97, 77, 57 and 23. That's your first call. Up to 2,000 cc's. Thank you, there's already movement.
And they're bronze insert in there. I mean, your mouse, it looks like it. Yeah, so I'll get. It's just going to blue. There's a couple of times it's a good, hard, serious day.
Historic Group N, 56, 45, 140, 31, 84 and 40. Historic Group.
Well, wait for taking together. And we have speed from 12.5. They're going to come up there. Great big Chevy leads the start line. Stokes.
Already there, 99, 43, 9, 18, 20.
In the end of the red bag, red pair. You get it, if you get a blue pair, they're in the other end.
Yeah. 99 already in line there. 99 and we're in club cars over 3,000. 9, 18, 20 and 19. They're moving out. Nice one out turn 3 to get up to the 588. in club cars over 3,000. So before we move on, we'll be handed call. Putting the wheel off and come out of the 10 or 9 minutes is very, very
So you don't have to keep doing 5 metres. No, you just got to do that to get off your peak runs.
For the Group N guys now to come down into those spectacular times that we saw Bryce Saylor drive here in 1990, where he recorded a 1688 CC. Everybody's done an advantage to him. Goes across near the curve finish line to get into the final time. I felt it was a bit afternoon session yesterday was a little bit too hot. Over between the last Saturday meeting and this meeting, it's turning in a lot better. It appears just to be a little bit out of balance on that. I might ask David to move the panhard rod on the car, and that may help, and I do know that's adjustable, and it just looks like it needs a little bit of balance put back into it. Wayne Bird, another of our New South Wales competitors in the Toronto, over the mobile hill for the first split.
Time of 1944 and
once he goes up, we'll bring the bikes back and we'll line them all up again and just one run and that's it. Good, thank you. Oh, no, you put me out. I'm going too hungry.
The leading Peacock, 32.46. We have got, he finishes with a 40.28. That's a personal best here this weekend. It's great to see the girls here in both the open wheelers and the touring cars. This car's the ex-car from the Baranga Exhaust Centre. Still got a car design down there, very nice lady. So no damage to the car there as she went into Channel 9. Got a brake lock, I couldn't get off the brakes to hit the car tap, and almost went into the arm. Steering brake lock, finally managed to stop them putting a lot of them in. And, but it's important that the crowd stay behind those barriers, because if the crowd... running away there. So you see the clock. You've got to have everything just right going for you. And this would be Dean Rainsford in the court scene now in 426. Another car. Last year. To take the first left, the first Scotch Arrive. Not the first time, of course, of Dean Rainsford driven up this hill here. Armstrong, Collingrove, Pringle, Dolan, Rainsford, and there's somebody warming up down there. Yes, it's Rob Henderson, and then in the hall car, first one down through the Climbing's about 0.2 of a second separate these drivers at this stage, and it's going to get better as the day goes on. The 175 car, he's achieved an 8:33 for that Honda. That's an excellent time. That was 2 or 3 years ago at Adelaide International Raceway. He's achieved the personal best. Never forget the Viscanda driven by John Bauer in the mid-80s. Bernie Van Elsen away in car 114 as he comes with props to Scotch Arrive. Big 8 car. He's achieved an 8. Noel's done a lot of work on this car since he got it, put some new struts and put brakes on it. Noel, a very experienced driver for the first good time. Noel's got that experience right on what the Channel 9 story all up here is absolutely top planet. Hillclimb now in car number 11. Our local boy who won the Dunlop Series, I think it was last year. They sound right, and they're heading up the hill in the 62 Commodore. He gets a split time of 9:52. That's an excellent time. It comes down through the wall, straight it's fantastic, and the competition level here is just super. And we're seeing some fantastic times coming down with great drivers. Going for a personal best. Pick this up, I think he'll do it. This is the Daimler or Seal.
Car is what is called a Formula Gravel. So that's a formula car. That's really a circuit racing car. So this car is heavily developed. That's 4 times the Australian Hillclimb Championships. The only
This is going to be the show. Still set very low. That's 6.59, little off the pace, but they'll reckon you can make it up. First this may not be a real indicator as he comes up the second time. It's critical though. 18.16 looks better, and he's 18.7. He's not quite there. So I expect a low 30, so he could really affect the performance of Rolac and Wedge. 28.29, 30,
Okay, good luck. Ready?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, here we go. Make sure the ears going properly. Do it up.
Yeah.
Tim, this is Rob.
Waiting for the next machine to leave the line.
Well, Graham, welcome to Collingrove, and is this your first introduction to motorsport as the Minister for Tourism?
Yes, it is, John, and it was a very exciting thing. I had no comprehension of how quick you can go, but they tell me it was very slow, even though I thought it was pretty quick.
Well, it was a little bit quick, and of course you're an avowed football follower, aren't you? So this is an introduction to motorsport too for you, I suppose, is it?
Yes, it is, and it's fantastic to see the whole setup here. I didn't comprehend how many people were interested in it, and it's a great venue, and it's fantastic that Sporting Clark is doing such a good job.
Well, thank you for the compliment. This, of course, is amateur motorsport at its best, we think, and it's an example of what can be done in South Australia by people who know what they're doing and who are keen to push on of arranging tourist attractions like this that bring people to the Barossa Valley, which is what it's all about to a degree.
Yeah, we're interested in talking to you from a major events point of view, because the proposal to bring together a whole range of sporting amateur groups is, I think, a fantastic idea, and we want to work with you to encourage you to get on with the job.
Norman, welcome to Collingrove. How do you like the hill climb?
Actually, it's a delightful day, and of course we're here practicing on Saturday, and I'm sure tomorrow is just going to be a boomer day.
And do you enjoy the track itself?
Yes, I think it's a great track. It's very testing from the spectators. It really, I would advise them to walk up the hill a bit, because the best part of the track is sort of the last half of the track, you know.
And you've raced in many types of motor racing. How do you think that hill climbs fill into the whole spectrum of motor racing?
Well, I think it's a wonderful way for anyone to get started in proper motor racing, and there's a batch of fellow competitors that do a lot of hill climbing, and I think that someone with a smaller budget can have a really great time at hill climbing, and I'm sure we're right on a resurge back in hill climbing, because in my own hometown of Melbourne, Rob Roy has rebuilt the hill climb, which has been out of action for about 20 years. And we're having boomer meetings over there at Rob Roy, and I think tomorrow will be a great meeting here.
And yourself personally, what's it feel like to throw the Impala up the hill?
Well, to me, it's just a bit of light entertainment. Like the car's nearly as old as me, and we're thoroughly enjoying having it back. But keeping in mind, it's just a road car, and then we just bring it here and put a couple of numbers on. We drove it over from Melbourne, and we drive it back, and we've used it in the last 3 Dutton rallies. You know, it's really more road than it is suitable for hill climbs, but it's quite good fun.
You're enjoying your motor racing?
Yes, well, you know, just I call it light motor events, and yes, we're having a fine time. And I've just ordered a new Chev, a 1995 Chev Camaro Z28, and we're going to use that on the Dutton as well, and that'll be here in December, I suppose. You know, so a bit of a Chev enthusiast, I'd say I would be.
Norman, thank you very much.
Thank you now.
Stan, tell us about your run this morning.
Well, this morning was quite good. The track's getting very, very grippy, and it's turning into a very interesting meeting at the moment. The times are coming way down. This is the fastest any of the machines have gone for about 7 or 8 years, and it's looking really fantastic.
Were you happy with your last run?
No, I wasn't happy with the last run.
Anything specifically?
Well, yes, we got a bit untidy up in the steep part there, and you only have to get untidy for a whisker and you're in trouble.
So you're confident that this afternoon you can make amends?
I hope so. I wish I was a bit younger with these blokes here. They've been stealing the march a bit lately, but yes, we've still got a bit left for them. We're just letting them get a bit of a run up.
What was your problem in the last one? Was it the car itself, or was it just
It's mainly driver error, I think. We're still learning to drive the car with new suspension parts, and it's not over until tomorrow night.
And Roger, you must be thrilled to bits.
Yes, Rob, it's good to come out and after having basically a couple of years off and come out and start setting some good times. It's been tough the last 2 club meetings we've had up here. Stan's been fastest, and we just thought it's time that the old fella should step down and let some young blood come through.
And if you go a smidgen faster in the next 3 sessions, it's worth $10,000.
Yes, it's quite an incentive. It'll be regardless of the $10,000. I've been trying to break the record here that Kim seems to be, break all the time. It'll be a great thing to finally get the record and get Rawley out of the record books.
Kim, just quickly, what's your prediction?
Me and the rest.
Roger?
About another 3/4 of a second faster yet.
For $10,000?
Yep.
Stan?
I hope to keep them honest and just stay in front at the end of the next day.
Beauty. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll take it. No, it's getting quite full right now.
Assistant clerk, of course, and you know where the old secretary is working in here. First of all, I'd just like to give some bouquets. I think it was really terrific. Also, I'd like to thank Glenn, everybody, for keeping everything running smoothly, and I know it'll work well today. Brick bats? Don't know. Haven't got any brick bats. Now, I know there was a contentious point yesterday about burn-ups, and I'm amazed, really, from the competitor's point of view. If you're not at a driver's briefing, I mean, we don't stipulate that it's compulsory. Now, to me, if you're a competitor and you arrive late, I think it's only common courtesy to come to see the clerk, of course. Thank you for your support to Collingrove. And actually, on behalf of the Sporting Car Club and the organising body, have a good day.
I'll be able to start a book soon with all those stickers.
No, you look. As soon as you put it up with Mel, there better not be any on there.
So,
the Grand Prix, I'll take it all off. I'll take it back off for that. Couple of weeks.
Things like, the parking arrangements and so forth, and that will be in the official tent, the right tent that's just at the top of the pitch looking up towards the hill. So that's 9 a.m. Get that right, 9 a.m. sharp.
To come up, and there's a lot of people around. Just hang fire for a while. There'll be enough. There's a T-shirt. The competitor will be crossed off a list. So we don't want people coming over and saying, I'm collecting for car number 3000. And then a bit later on, somebody else from the team comes over, I'm collecting for 3000, and it's already marked off. There's only 4 or 5 cars left in the scrutineering lane, but once again, that's moved pretty smoothly again this morning. Over there, both the blue and white and the red and white one. There's a number of interesting displays in there. Service for Youth Council have their project. There's wood carving crafts in there, and that's certainly worth looking at. So that's 8:45 in the officials' tent, the white tent looking up towards the hill. Thank you. A moment to think about those other things in the tent over there. The bookshop has a wonderful...
Yeah, well, you drill a small hole first, and then you go with a little bit bigger. That doesn't matter.
So if you would like to book for a seat, it'll cost you $10 for a small photo and $20 for a big one. Here it is on bar. Back to us. Every normal back to 4 questions. Thank you. Sponsored by the Matrix Booking. The red white marquee down the fence across the paddock adjacent. There we go.
The last time that I...
Yes, 28 form up, 28 in that first category over. I haven't got the previous group down there, MGs, you jumped the gun this morning, but good to see you right on the ball. Sports sedans.
I haven't seen these around. We've had these now for 2 years. Don't know where he got them from.
What sort of pad do you run?
You bring it to the trade tent, which is the cowboy tent here. They'll help you out.
How are you? How you going? Not too bad. Yeah, good. Let's hope it's not going to be as hot as today's yesterday. That's right. It was pretty warm, wasn't it? Yeah, really fry your brain stuff. Yeah. How's your car running? Oh, we've got a blown head gasket, which is a bit of a worry, but we've got it glued up with Chemi Weld from the inside. Oh yeah. So we'll get a couple of runs in today.
We're blanked off some at 50 thou and 100 thou.
So what we're doing now is only trial and error, so we don't know what size tracks or anything.
No, that's right.
1 minute now.
You might go slower now, so you go faster. That's better. Yeah, you might have to lose it.
Adelaide.
have to, of course, have the completion of the official practice. So we'll need to be down around the start line before 11 a.m, let's say at the track first, because some of those don't have clutches, so they're a rolling starting bikes. How many of them have we got, please, Daniel? Two historics and whatnot. Excellent. Good. And very carefully emphasise to you is that this is not part of the race ready, it's purely a demonstration. It is not timed.
Stay still. Why didn't your mother teach you how to dress?
Motorcycles running now 227 is having a see what it's all about. Having a look at that's the new mod superbike now that you see going up the hill. Yamaha, Anthony Basham.
It's a bitch.
Certainly when you look at these bikes compared to the ones Alpine guard. And now we have an outfit coming up. Make it a good day at Collingrove, a beautiful picnic atmosphere here. It was just woodwork. These are the cars that people have... Well, you've got a ride, yes?
Right. Like a banana in a bucket of custard, the way they handle, isn't it?
But nice.
Yeah.
How was it?
Is that
Don't you lose, that's my hat. Don't you lose my hat.
I think I'll go in the automatic. You go in there?
Yeah.
Got that?
That's good, yeah.
You like the other ride? You enjoy that other drive? Yeah, beautiful. Kim Rawlack, 4 times Australian champion. Bit of bad luck yesterday, Kim, eh?
Yes, we had a fairly major split develop in our crankcase. Let a bit of oil out on the exhaust, which caused a bit of concern. But
what caused that, Kim? You know?
It's only a poor Volkswagen, and we're pumping out almost 300 horsepower out of it. Yeah. So it's just a thing that happens.
So today, a chance of breaking the 29 seconds, you reckon?
Very much hope so.
Yeah. $10,000 in the pocket. Be nice, wouldn't it?
We've repaired the crack as best we can and stopped the oil leaks, so it's all together. We hope.
Break a leg, son, break a leg.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, I did after spinning off.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'll take it. No, it's getting quite full right now. That's one of the previous Find Tanya and leave. Where all the cars are.
Yeah, well, it's probably sort of
Not last weekend, the weekend before. Oh, yeah. We got the Hamley Bridge Circuit. There's a meeting coming up there very shortly. But, we got that, and we're going.
Taking the shot, shoot.
Through. Now, 27.1, that's another personal best for John, and he's well on the move there. The class currently being led with a 35.26, and John's personal best to date is a 43.29. So, it was also our most improved driver, second was the 93 most improved driver, Hughes, and 901, with his as he goes up the back straight, 24.72. Now he's still away, 39.51 or better. He's chasing for John in the historic racing cars class. A little bit twitchy as he went through the... And now the next car on the line is car 211. Straight now as he goes past the gum tree. Brakes hard into the left hand and nice and tidy in the middle of the track, lines it up to the S's at the top. Very quickly round the first one, round the second, over the top for his first trip, and then down into the Coca-Cola struggling as it revs hard at 19.19. And that's better than his personal best so far across the board. So Alan Granado in this little white Mazda down into the Coca-Cola dip and up around into the 79 wall. Doesn't touch the brakes there, but into around the top. Down the short straight, heading up into the first of the 5 AAS's. 24.91 for his second split there as he goes through. Very tidy run for Alan Granado. He's in the top 3% of drivers in Australia, Jimmy Linus, driving steadily in the points. Linus very good, so we're getting a big work later in the day. It's Dog, head through ladies and gentlemen. 23.27. He's going to go into the low 38. Got it lined up nicely through the 5 AAS's. Whips it round that right hand. A very tight, a very frustrating part of the structure rise for the first split, which is a 8.28. He's down to the Coca-Cola dip. Round the wall. Have a look at him go. Going up into the S's. 22.17. He's picked up an enormous amount of time on the second split. The time we're looking at will be our first record broken for today for the Mark Sports class. 30. Chris Price, who finished second in the 1993, went a jump to through heading into Channel 9. Barney Band with a 24.19, and he's just a tiny bit off of his personal best yesterday, but 39.29 is the record, 39.64 is his personal best. Six-cylinder engines right there. Then we have a 4-shift mag wheel. have a they're all ground the same. They run towards the big straight wall. A little bit too much, held it all together and hurls it up into the first left hand of the Yeses, gets the tail right out, gives it a flick back, round to the right hand, shoots down about 100 metres, round the second to the left, heads off to down the Kurds finish because its first official run is pretty tidy up over the the short straight there up towards the Yeses, brake, just a dab of the brakes, right in the middle of the track, around the right-hander, shoots down towards the second part, very quickly around there, runs out of our sight, once again towards the finish line. 24.51 puts him on target for a bit. No, it's 121, so that will be Ian Richards. Ian Richards is a former assistant. 1983. With Marshall Battery, he heads up the back straight into turn 4, and still a little bit off the pace, 24.43, that's the fastest he's running that car this weekend though. So as Ian Richards goes across the line to record his first time. Car 05. I believe it's Dennis, isn't I would have laughed. I'll tell you what, it's true, they're doing it and doing it comfortably. That's the Sphinx car, isn't it? It's running 05 because the computer won't accept the 105. So what are we talking about this morning? Well, some very trick fuel injection on it. The Tilbrook Slate, Tilbrook 907 car. A lot of work and development as well. It's the first time we had a 2-metre number drive car. In the Hillclimb Series, we welcome the third in their class. Having a look, waiting for the split here as we have the mini down off the line at the present moment, but the little Hummer going up over the top towards the finish line. 3 is the main car away. The little going up towards the 5 AAS's front-wheel drive car, 1293cc, links it round through the first and the right-hander and then to the left-hander there. They've actually, of course, down there on South Road, opposite the Castle Plaza, up around the Channel 9. Nice and tight. Just a little bit more gas pedal as he goes up the short straight, dabs the brakes once again, has it well positioned to go round the first left-hander. Around the right, pulls it in close and around to the left-hander again. 24.22 for his second split. Drives very clean through here. Goes down into the heads up towards the 21 doors. Very clean drive, I think. Controls the car very well. First split time there of 8.63. Pretty good time for him at 24.10 for the second split. That's a personal best for him for this weekend. He'll be very pleased with that. He threads his way up through the 5 AAS's. If you drive a Peugeot, 405 Peugeot, register number BB's. Car. The Hutchinson, the biggest burnout you ever seen on the start, 22.91. Jason Armstrong is really on the move. He needs 37.03 or better to win the McCurk car. He's the boy to watch. He's the man who's currently in third on the class, and he's the man who can upset the balance. His first split, 8.35. He won the second off the first split. He will be looking good for 22.41. He is on his way to get into the 36s. We'll watch the time quickly. That Fueltronics car is working very, very well today. It's caused a lot of controversy. Some say it's got traction control, some say it hasn't. We'll find out in a minute. And up into the S's around the hard left-hander. This is a double entry with the father and son driving this car. Looking at the split, the first split, a 9.96, 26.50 on the second as he goes through the fourth.
After setting a record breaking attempt. Now he's done 37.16 here. He reckons it's
on the hill trend Ulmer at the present moment in the Stags. The Formula V is being sponsored, of course, by Coca-Cola. Around the top left-hander. And
turning it in, beautiful balance on the steering wheel. Gives the car plenty of room, straight to the right, down to the controller. Gives himself plenty of room up in the wall, around the back of the slide, straight to the car between the two first three. Come on, don't get back off there, Dad, as he heads up the back to the second split. 23.32, he dropped a couple of tenths of a second there. He needs 37.16 or better. 37.16 or better.
Kobe, I know Victorian is a very nice and neat looking car. Comes up the top of the hook there, and Norman is one. Around the pedal, when I will just flip the blue right in the middle there. Puts back in, hooks it in, puts the foot down. 1200 cc's of Volkswagen, not much you can do to these. A Volkswagen motor, a light face frame, a fiberglass body, standard front and rear end. On a double entry here. That's the Mazda here.
Picking up here through channel 9, down the corner.
Come up for his second split. We'll give that one a 24.54. That's a personal best there. The class currently lead with 36.23, and the car's best time to rough court car built by Gary Cooper here at the Edward Town factory in South Australia. Down to the coach chip.
Gave it a little shift off the track there, it unbalanced it. It's too slow, but covered the vehicle well and brought it back.
Lined up to that short straight and heads it in as he goes past the big gum tree where the split for the second time, the 25.75. He's on a personal best here, and he's run 9.26. He's probably got himself a little bit of a fright as he tipped it over. Got your ride.
Okay, 36.97.
Goes up the straight into the first left-hander going towards the 5AA. Loses the car, pulls it back. No, he runs straight on and just manages to stop before he got to the top there. So a red flag, a slight delay there. Messenger, he got round the first left-hander, got it sideways there. So Garrett over the forefront. Comes up. Gets a bit untidy there. Past the split for his second time at 22.24. So as they go now up into the S's, keep it going because he's running for a good time and let's hope it makes it through the run. There's a lot of understeering here down the coast. This is a out car. It's pretty good. Body by Jason, who has to body back. The last weekend, but powers the car through now. Typical for a British racing green car, holds it nice and tight as he goes off the first of the S's, slips it around, runs it at our side towards the top of the hill, 750 yards this hill here at Collingrove.
He was just a little bit faster in the first turn, 8 seconds. He's got a turbo change, gets it high. The master out, yesterday, get a big loop from
Had a lot of good drivers here. I'll give you a strong tip. She's on Frosty's tail. 9.17, 24.57. She could make the 39, and that'll be sensational for Heidi if she does. Very quickly through the S's for an HQ. Really got it lined up. Linked the first of our Porsches. Mark Ford car over 2001. Sponsored by Collingrove Classics out there on the Scout here.
Would you believe it? He's like there to block. His arm, open the window sill, steering wheel.
Have a look at him up through the S's, guys. I'm sure he's doing it still. Got a little bit wide there as he came off the Channel 9 wall, but gathered it all in. Now running through the first of the S's, round the right-hander quite quickly there. Heads towards the second one, out of our sight once again, towards the finish line. Free to ride. the first left-hander. The great V8 growling as he gets up there, sticks the back out, lines it up nicely, quite quickly around the right-hander. Out of our sight, in third he's on a personal best, 23.84 to the second. Cuts the corner, drops the wheel off, straightens it up, taking this over balance. Very serious as he goes around the Channel 9 wall here. Nolan, a very serious driver, started running for that's how long Noel Hurt's been driving. Hasn't lost any of that touch as he goes up the top, round the left-hander, a very quick V8 power. He's done a lot of work on that Triumph, put some new brakes in to make it stop, was quite quick at the quarter-mile sprint yesterday, very quick here at the Australian Hillclimb Championships today. Of course, he's got them in between the seats, and he now got the nobody's going to take that away from him, and Collingrove reckons the opposite. He didn't take the bet, but he certainly reckons he's going to try and break that record as he goes across the top, heads towards the Commodore, or they'll be able to run as a sports sedan. But Alan Cunningham, the only starter in this class this weekend, actually. I've got a corrective. Gary Baxter's arrived in the sister car, and I thought we were soaring double this morning. Very deep. He only just recovered. Second split is 22.39. It's starting to get on the move. Cut the wheels off the Channel 9 won't help him. It doesn't take much, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike a circuit where you can pick the time up perhaps on the next corner on 1:30 of the tag. The father and son cars now are running quite the work of the other area. All the way on. Up through the first of the 5 AA-yeses. Picked the pace up nicely with 25.75. Their personal best across the board, 41.7. Sorry, 371. If I'm oh, the water is coming in. He ran that white car. Our very first split was a personal best of 7.62 for the weekend, and just dropped off the pace with a 23.84. So we'll wait for the finish. Needs to take the class lead, 36.58 or better. There's the class leader driving the left coast car. We look forward to seeing if he can improve on his 36.58. It certainly has a 1999 CC squeezed into that Datsun and Dennis coach. As he goes through the first of the left-hander up the top, swings around a hard right-hander, back into the left-hander. It's about to happen. He's on personal best across the board. The computer screen just lit up, 22.31, 36.58 or better. Malala holds a record in the head race. Out of ring time, and I think still got the Olympic overalls that he has. Holds it nice and tight. On stage ran a Repco Formula 5000. Back in the little touring car owned by John Taylor there. The Peugeot dealers out there at Medindi. Throws it around the top. All very nice and clean there, looking at his times. He's on personal best, 24.56, and that's a personal best for the second split. And they're driving for Euro parts, the 105 chassis, always well presented and doing a fantastic job here. A very competitive car, extremely popular in the Victorian series. For the Euro parts car. An 8.82 for his first split and a 23.55 as he goes up past that big gum tree going up the straight into the AAS's. Well, 38.35 is his personal best across the board. He's on target to beat that. He's done 23.55 for the first split. We have car 91 going up now. Just that hole Greg Ward from New South Wales, the driver, another of our interstate competitors. Somebody said this morning, leave a group of VWs around and they multiply, and I think that's what happened. We've got that many of them down there in the pits. Pick up the time as 92 goes through Matthew Price and Victoria Dealer.
a bit of boost at the top, but they need to back off just that little bit. So now they go as the guys up towards the S's there. It's quite a strong breeze as they come up over the rise this time. The outright guys will be pleased to know that the first times down the bottom are being broken completely all the time, 9:28. That's another personal best. It's about the last 10 cars have all done personal best in the first split.
His brother Phil's been coaching him. We'll see how he comes up. They go right. Down to Coca-Cola and goes right.
Personal best. Round 22.88 equals his time from yesterday. Round in the first of the left-hander, but certainly that braking manoeuvre into the turn 1 of Channel 9 wouldn't help him as he goes across the top and heads towards the blue. They're very quick up the top, gets it all lined up. Eight on the black stuff. Going well, cuts it nicely around the wall. A little looser in the suspension than some of the others, but it still seems to handle this Collingrove hill climb extremely well. Donald will be on target to come into the top 5. 37.69 is his previous best. He went only just outside that top 5. Let's see if he can come into it. 36.58 is his target though. 2.41. Ruth Popjoy, another of our drivers. Looks as though they probably played it over. Very exciting for the race. Popjoy, well done, see how good they are. The VW is sensationally fast. There's a personal best. 24.67 has come through. She's ran 42.02. See how it improves. Certainly very tidy up the top in the 5 AAS's. Ruth Popjoy from New South Wales. Got the petroleum there. Running for 2 back up the short straight into the 5 AAS's once again. Just a little bit slower than yesterday, 22.61. He's not going to get the recovery on the O2 car. Peter Finlay hit an arm toe in a hill climb down Newcastle Way, and he said to Dennis, don't feel so silly about it. I've got the older car and a lot of them, but a real hard step on them. Well, that's out for an outright lead now. 21 or better in his 34.79 or better, and he'll take that class. He's very quick over the top, down to the coast here, a stab of the brake, up the back, get towards the 5 AAS's. Tell you what, Bruce Field's in trouble, 20.91. He's just gone under Bruce's 21-second run. We're going to look for 34.35. Alan Foster from the Norfolk goes up there. Across the top of the he goes up to the top, stabs the brakes round the left-hander, a flick of the tail, round the right-hander, and out of our sight, across the top to the finish line. His first time waiting for stage as he goes down, heads up around the left-hander.
This is a much improved run, Tony. He's 23 seconds split.
It's off the top here, gets a little bit crossed up, puts the layout down around, and I'm sure the back on the headset once again is very Venables. It's gone down to a little bit of a nose around the pits as Maxwell Hooper goes up through the 5 AAS's. Scoots away looking for his time as he's going to cross the curve. Beautiful very well. That number is
car banner. Round up into the S's. Second split time there of a 29.89. Again, a personal best. So this track is very fast today. Certainly improving, and he goes around through the 5AAS and heads off towards McKeown's.
73. Brian gets mixed up to the Hannaford and Hennessy series in the upper area. Regular reporting car club. Real keen enthusiast. Never lies with
Up here on the hill so far at 10.51 on the first split, 27.53 on the second as he goes through the S's at the top. Brian Hannaford racing for a time.
The flat back. As you said, Johnny, you'd be happy with one, doesn't except with it two. But beautifully turned out, and certainly the shape of the historic sports cars. From these cars up to the Austin Healey's, these are the early cars, the 30s, the Healey's, of course, from the 60s. But this is the sort of thing that really started sports car motoring.
Can Lee Payne please come up to the timing hut? That's Lee Payne, the timing hut.
Just looking at the pot time, you can imagine it's Mini Marcos had a great time down there. So you see split time there, but 8.5
yesterday, you've certainly seen the better of the times, a little bit cooler. The strong wind as Jeff Dunlop now hooks into the left-hander at the 5AA. Quite quickly around the right-hander, heads off in the left towards the finish line to give him his first
competition in this historic sports car class. And now we're watching the big V50 here, the big V8 car of Neil Sullivan.
There's quite a handful here at Collingrove, this big V8 sports car. Not a great number of these car made. I could get the exact figure, but not a lot of them made. And Neil Sullivan certainly got this one souped up as he goes up to the... it may
not be full colour glossy, but it's a couple of glosses.
Souvenir of this year's Australian Hillclimb Championships. Well, Max Sherry from Victoria now in the little mini, a split for the first of a 9.13, the second 24.80, and we wait for him to go up and across the finish line.
Right, coming through Scotty Ryan, 8.36 again, a personal best.
It's a 23.10, so definitely on record here for a personal best. These little arrows are appearing on our screen regularly with these cars this afternoon. Tony Peichel in 29, the Anglia goes through the...
drivers, and particularly the crew chief here today, Peter Hall, warms up the side. He's determined to be the crew chief. You can see the snake and tail as he comes up. The truth is a black line of it looks like the biggest snake I've ever seen. Hawley wheels back the dash. I'm going to hand over to you, Tony, and hand him up there. He's going to be hot. He's going to be in the 34s. Just watch this man go.
Well, Alan Kerr on the hill in 66, also his best personal time coming up for a
United driver, Peter Hall. Very nice
They come up on the screen at 22.30, so that's a little bit off the pace from what he did yesterday. Yes, wasn't as tidy around the Channel 9 wall as we saw him yesterday. Everybody else has been just right. That's car 321.
There's a bit of bearing on there. Right round he goes. 180 from Channel 9. We'll put your red flag coming up around the track and so that one's leading through. Circulating now as he goes down.
Sponsored by Jarrett Motors, John Taylor, the first car on the hill, a 19.68, a very slow up to, and a 37.19, so not a good run for John Taylor.
So a very quick front part there, down into the bit. All nice and lined up. Right, round into the channel 9. Down towards the tyres. Doesn't come up. Good clean run there going to Sandboard.
Heads up towards the 5AASs. We'll check his time. That's a personal best here for the second split, a 22.99. So he's really got the button down there. Absolutely flying through the 5AASs, flicking the back end out.
Heads across the circuit there now, waiting for Doesn't really help your concentration. 30 odd seconds to go up there. You need everything going for you. Certainly got the top part of the circuit a little bit organised this time.
22.85 there, a little off his pace that he did yesterday. But down through as he enters into the 5AASs. 23.44, so he's still on target there for a personal best if he can hold it all together up through the S's.
Gets it all nicely lined up there, the big V8 squeeze into that TC chassis, running for his H car. Paul Lilly down the stage in a Glen. Good body up there, 8.5. So the times really are coming today.
Goes up towards the 5AAS. Check his second split time here. 23.75, yes, he's really on a flyer here today.
So Paul Lilly in the Glen, his best run so far this week, and that's the Australian Hillclimb Championships, up through the 5AASs, heads off to that finish line. Holds it all together.
Just shows you how difficult that corner actually is. You can't really appreciate it until you've been up there in a car.
Well, when you've been coming flat over the top for 2 days here. That's in the front, he's in the ring now. Phil Morris sits behind him. He's very determined to go to the 34 time to Australia 2.5 litre champ. So we'll get back to the Morris to come. From Victoria also Mazda mounted now. Going through the first split is 8.90.
The second split there at 24.06.
Has been a little bit quicker than his previous run. So he goes across the top as we look at the top of the time. Up to the top he comes. A little bit offline. Down to the coach.
Heads up towards the 5AASs. 22.13 for a second split there. That's a personal best for him, so he's really got it going there. You'll be very impressed with this run.
We have lots of runs, ladies and gentlemen, but of course you've got to remember that it's a long time in between.
Good control as he heads into 5AAS. The 21.26 is the personal best for him this weekend, so he'll be very impressed with that. He heads up through the 5AASs and out of our view.
Very neat, very quick driver is Bruce Cone as we wait for his time to come up here. Very clean line through here. Time of 7.49. 400. Oh, lost it up there. Can he catch it? Yes, he caught it well. That was very spectacular.